All right. So like we're here looking at the new Legacy series. And I don't know when this video is going to come out because these are a little bit secret still.
Yep.
But you came in and you already had a pre-workout. You've also come out with, carnitines, fat burners, stuff like that. But where did this line come from? Legacy, it's a black bottle. It's different. What was this to you?
Yeah. So, we kind of looked at the roadmap of the current existing brand. I wanted to kind of break everything into diversity, into different channels of who the demographic could potentially be at the end of the day. We created a commodity line, which we call our essential series. That's where you'll find your creatine, glutamines, carnitines, CLA is kind of live in that line. We have our origin series, which kind of took the first pre-workout that the company had and kind of transitioned into a series of products now. Sure. That pre-workout's been interesting. I know you've got a little history with that pre-workout. Thankfully, that pre-workout sells like crazy for us. It's not something you look at a label and say, this meets all the check marks at the end of the day, but that thing hits hard.
Yeah, I can see it.
And I've got a lot of retailers that ask me if there's things in that product that shouldn't be in that product because of how hard it hits. So for stim junkies out there, we love it. Even here in Alpha Prime, we've got some employees that can't handle that pre-workout. It is literally that strong. So, I wanted to create a line of products to kind of speak to what I've always been about, and that's, premium, efficaciously dosed type products.
Yeah.
I had to figure out the best way to do that. It can't be a standalone product. I wanted it to be a series that I could potentially transition more SKUs in town down the road, right? As we kind of got to know Caesar, Alpha Prime, and kind of where we were going and what the company means from a core value perspective, the word legacy comes out of a lot. And that's actually what Caesar wants. He wants to leave a legacy here at Alpha Prime for his daughters. And as we kind of navigated down that, I just really locked on to legacy. We kind of said, let's do the legacy series. Product has to look premium, has to look different, but still has to tie into the origin and the essential series. Everything still needs to look like one brand.
Right.
I would say maybe a mistake I've made in the past is we've created so many products that products in the brand start to look like different brands.
Yeah.
So trying to find a way to keep everything synergistically together and flowing from an aesthetic perspective. So with Rojas, our creative director, he's the guy that makes the magic happen when it comes to the creative side. And this is kind of what he's created. So in addition to that, there's a lot of companies that are making good products today. There's companies that do make good products with good trademarked ingredients. So you still have to find a way to be different. And it's tough. It's really tough. A lot of formulators out there. I think I do a pretty good job. I'm not going to say I'm the best formulator out there, but I've been in ingredients. Anybody who's known me since probably 2007. I was that guy, looking online. I remember going to AOL.com, dial up to go research ingredients. You didn't have, the stuff that you have today. So,
well, you're also one of the brand guys that's actually out of the supply side too.
True.
We go to those shows. You don't see a lot of people.
No, you don't, which is kind of shocking. Again, kind of goes to our conversation we had prior, about knowing the people behind the company.
Yeah.
And I think if a lot of people knew the owners and executives behind the supplements that they're taking, they'd be shocked that those people couldn't tell you one ingredient in their product or where it comes from or what it does. So that's something, as we kind of put this together, I wanted to start probably the two biggest categories being pre-workout and pump.
Of course.
We say pump or non-stim pre-workout determining on how you play it. But that's kind of how they were born. Don't know when this video is launching, but this might be the first sneak peek or it might be available now.
Yeah.
But this is our legacy series. So we have a pre-workout and a pump powder. The pump powder does not contain any stimulants, so it could be classified as a non-stim pre-workout as well. We've got 3 flavors in each that we'll be dropping. You've got the sour gummy, we've got a berry gusher, and I forgot the other flavor in that one right now. In the pump, we've got a blue raz gummy, we've got a lemonade, a lemon drop actually, and then we have an unflavored.
Cool.
So that way it can be mixed in anybody's pre-workout. You're not doubling up on sweeteners or anything like that too.
One of the things I like about you guys, there's an aspect of athleticism. It's not just bodybuilding. A lot of this industry, especially in your past, deals with just jacked dudes and bikini athletes. But especially you walk through the facility, you see there's a mannequin golfing behind you. You get baseball uniforms in the back. A lot of this stuff, especially with the focus on betaine, I know that you have, there's a lot of performance.
We don't have time on this video to kind of go into my history, but I was a pretty good baseball player growing up. Actually had an opportunity to play pro ball. But prior to that, I was a fat kid growing up. That's when Dad took me to the gym and said, you know, you need to lose weight. You can't compete with these kids that are naturally gifted, bigger, taller, and stronger than you. He literally took me to the gym. I hated it at first, and then one day I started to figure out, all right, this is kind of cool, and you know, I wasn't intimidated as much. Next thing I knew, I learned is I have to find supplements that help me also. And I kind of, again, went on my own to research supplements. I don't remember the websites back in those days that you would learn stuff about. But again, you didn't have Instagram and social media, so you literally had to look at, you know, what was the ISSN or certain journals and things like that existed back in the learning ingredient forums. God, was it Get Big or Get remember that one? There were some ones in the back of the day. So you spend time researching these ingredients, and I wanted to know what I was taking and how much of this stuff, because I build my own plan. By college, I was the guy, you know, literally every 3 hours that go by, I'm taking a protein shake. Can't miss a meal, right? That was me in the dugout. Kids are eating McDonald's, and I'm sitting there taking, I think it was like an Isopure MRP that used to come in a box. And I take those packets to the game. That was me. So being an athlete, straight up supplements and everything really enhanced my ability to get bigger, stronger, and compete with some other kids. So personally, I've always been into that. I think when I think of a pre-workout product, obviously, it's something that you take before your workout. Your workout could be many different things. It could be hitting the weights, could be powerlifting, it could be playing baseball, could be playing soccer, it could be lacrosse. Who knows, right? Depending on what that workout is. That product, at the end of the day, is supposed to help you compete, last longer, endure during that workout or that activity. That's in a nutshell what I look at as a pre-workout. Pre-workouts, unfortunately, over the past 10 to 15 years have been stim bombs. Just whack you up and you're running around like crazy. Hey, I get it. There's some days you're just really, really tired and you need that caffeine just to get to the gym. And in theory, if that gets you to the gym and you get a workout in, hey, it did its job. It got you there, right? But I'm a big proponent in terms of things that you take before you work out. And I'm really, my favorite category is intra. And we're going to do something in the Legacy series down the road for intra. But to me, that's what I love. I love sipping on something while I'm training. There are some things that I do like to take before your training as well. And we'll talk about some of the key ingredients in the pre-workout, like PKTP or adenosine triphosphate, which maybe some people are familiar with or not, but it's cellular energy, right? It's output. Betaine kind of flows into that. Even got some D-ribose in here, which is basically a natural sugar or carbohydrate that helps work synergistically with ATP, and that's why I combined it with the peak in this product. So it's really about power and output. Yeah, we've got 300 milligrams of caffeine. You need a little get me up at the end of the day. You got some the CDP choline in terms of the focus part, but in terms of betaine, there's 4.5 grams. And it's a combination of anhydrous and betaine nitrate. If anybody knows me, I love nitrates. So I know you're a citrulline guy. I think citrulline has a place, but if you were to go, one against the other, I'll take nitrates all day.
So it's funny you bring up nitrates and citrulline because you have a decent dose of citrulline in the pump product, which makes sense because you want a lot of blood flow. But this makes a lot of sense, the nitrate move with your pre-workout, because it's very athletic. Like I like nitrates for training if I was going to play a sport. I don't. But if I was going to, I wouldn't want to pump up my delts and my shoulders. You
can't move.
Yeah,
can't
exactly.
Move. Right.
You wouldn't be swinging bats. Like I go to Topgolf and blow my back out, but you don't want to have a lower back pump when you're swinging.
I go to Topgolf now. I'm sore the next day, no matter what I take.
It's So
activating muscles you don't use normally.
No, I don't even know if I have the muscles for that. But the nitrate makes sense for this pre-workout because you could, you're shipping out baseball bags. You could throw a couple of these samples in there and they'd be able to appreciate it.
Absolutely. I mean, there's more of a long-term play that I want to connect with some of the other channels of business that we have here down the road. We're not there yet. But being just a pure athletic endurance type product between the high dose of betaine, the minimal, not minimal, but I'd say moderate 300 milligrams of caffeine. There's a little bit of dynamine, which I like with the caffeine. It kind of tapers the effects there. You got the CDP for focus. And then you got the PKTP and the ribose. So
it's funny because you said before, a lot of pre-workouts became stim bombs. And I don't have a problem with that. If that's what you need to work out, that's what you need to work out, right?
Right.
But there's a lot more to it. We know this, and I think that's a lot of our jobs and your job is to tell people, educate them, like Caesar says. There's more to it than just you can go to Bang and get 300 milligrams of caffeine. If that's all you need.
Just take some caffeine pills.
Yeah, you can absolutely. You can go to 7-Eleven and get no dose, and that's $1 for a bottle. But if you want actual performance benefits, right? You like you said, if you're a ball athlete that you want to take it to the next level, there's actual performance benefits that can help you out a lot.
And whether it's preventing lactic acid buildup, whether it's helping you perform longer, train harder, those are all benefits. That's enduring. That's endurance at the end of the day. So hence why I'm a big betaine fan.
Betane's good for thermoregulation too. You're out here in the Florida heat playing ball. Helps out. There's a lot more to it. It's funny. We talk to some people in the gym. They're like, pre-workout. It's just, you don't need that kind of stuff. It's not like, actually, there's a couple things that really could help you out.
Well, it's because they're associated with caffeine.
Exactly.
That's their initial reaction, right? I don't need the caffeine, but there are some things you could use.
Yeah.
Trust me, and the problem is, and again, we talk about education in this industry, is it's tough to educate. And something like PKTP or some of these things, you don't feel them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't feel them, you don't think it's working. And unless you're probably, maybe you do this, I used to do a long time ago, you write down every set, every rep, and you're looking at the power output and the exponential that you're doing there. Most people don't do that. So they have no idea if they're actually getting a better lifter or not. But that's probably the only way you'd be able to track, to see it and look at it on paper. But you brought up a point when we were talking about the pump product, because one of the hurdles I faced when I was creating this product, I did not want to put citrulline in this product. So for a couple of reasons, where citrulline is currently in the supply chain realm.
It'd be safer if you didn't.
But, I ran into that crossroads where it's better to have it than not have it, right? Mm-hmm. Because I have a lot of other elements in this product that I feel really help increase blood flow, plasma, and everything like that outside of just citrulline. So, did I go 6 to 8 grams, that a lot of people are, throwing out there at the end of the day? I went 4 grams. So I put still a moderate dose, which is still efficacious if you look at a lot of studies out there. Again, betaine. So 4 grams of betaine in there. There's a couple ingredients that you haven't seen in some places. Actually, we're the first ones to use one of them. It's called Hyperox.
That fenugreek.
Which actually comes from fenugreek. It's a fenugreek extract. It actually has a little bit of a maple syrupy aroma to it. So smell it. See if you can get it.
Yeah.
Right?
You can get it. A little bit
of maple syrup. So
do a little maple pancake flavor maybe?
Pancakes. Yeah. So when I was initially working on flavors with the manufacturer, it wasn't jiving initially because people were getting overwhelmed by that apple or that maple syrup pancake smell that they couldn't think about the flavor they were drinking. So we had to go back and we actually started to use that flavor to work with the flavor at the end of the day. So we use that maple to kind of blend into the flavor and it works really well now. We also got the Vasodrive AP. You'll see both products with estrogen to help with absorption at the end of the day. Yeah. And obviously these 2 products are made where they can be stacked. That's the goal. And if you have another pre-workout driver and you still want to add some additional pump blood flow ingredients, you could stack this with it. Again, stem-free, no caffeine. We will have an unflavored. You can mix that in anything. Some people will take a pre-workout 20 to 30 minutes before they work out, and then they're going to take a non-stem pump product, put some aminos in it, and they're going to sip on it while they're training. Again, it kind of turns it into an intra-type product, which I have something I want to do down the road. I'm excited in that category.
I'm definitely excited for that. There's a lot of cool. I'm with you because like pre-workouts, great. You get pumped, get energy. That's definitely fun and everything. But intra-workout for me is like where it changes the training, right? Like
that's when we're training. That's when we're breaking down muscle fibers, right? Yeah. And the more nutrients and blood flow we can get to those muscles that we're training. It's the same thing. I forgot the name of it where you do the electroshock therapy. What do they call that?
Like the new.
You did it down you did it down in Houston, right? Dude. I love that stuff. Being a science guy. A lot of people don't understand it, but when you're getting a muscle contraction that's, 10, I don't know what the numbers are, 10, 20, 30, 50 times more than actual training. Yeah. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah. But that's what I like about, and that's the feel I get with AP is like premium, right? Like you say, modern, like you're trying to have a very premium feel.
You could even look at these guys. you know most of the brands out there and formulas in the game today. I feel like they kind of sit on an island by themselves.
You've got some ingredients you got Compound Solutions, New Live, you've got your PKTP, you got some really smart people behind this stuff. Your CDP choline is going to be actually really nice. And I enjoyed the workout yesterday, but I'm excited to grab some. I think I might steal it.
We'll try it again for a pump later. But yeah, really excited to launch this series of products. Obviously, being premium and with some of these ingredients, it is going to be a little bit in terms of a price tag at the end of the day but any of these ingredients can be researched. You can go online. You can check out these ingredient companies. They have a lot of studies that go behind it. Yeah. We're actually going to put some of that stuff on our website when we put these products on there so people can look at it. And you can't really negate a study. If it's done correctly, what you get out of it proves it works.
But I think also it just makes sense. Like with your clothing here at AP, right? Like if you have some very premium cuts, we're going to be talking with the designer how she puts everything together.
It's unbelievable.
You're not selling that at Walmart prices, right? Right? Of course, we talk about value. Caesar wants everything to be affordable, right? For sure. but it has to reflect the value,
Right.
right? You have to be selling it. You know this as a salesman. If MAP isn't respected, your product isn't worth anything.
Right.
It's worth as much as it's sold for, right?
Yeah.
So when you say there's going to be a price tag to it, that's okay because look at the back of the bottle.
100%. And it's going to be nothing like you've never seen before. I mean, it'll sit, in a class of other premium products that probably exist today. So it'll be competitively priced from that perspective. To Caesar's point, we are going to make the best products we can. We're not going to overcharge for it, but we're going to be able to offer that to mainstream everywhere,
right.
And let them be able to afford that product. So what that means, we probably make a little less margin than some of those other companies that do because of that. But that's the core value of what Alpha Prime is. Even with the clothes, I mean, when you meet with Andrea and see what she does, it's blew my mind on how she does that. We think here in the U.S. we have it tough when we're formulating these little supplements and we can't get our bottles from China or there's no more chrome lids or ingredients, right? Everything she does is made overseas.
Yeah.
Like it's actually manufactured overseas.
Yeah.
She's got to piece that together. They have to ship samples here. You got to wait weeks, schematics. Yeah. You have to approve it, send it back. Then it's made over there, Pakistan or China or wherever it is. Then it's got to float over, right? You got to get a container.
Yeah.
Those are crazy expensive right now. You wait 2 months to get it. You got to clear it through the port. Hopefully LA is not too backed up right now.
Right.
And his boat's just sitting off the coast there.
It is.
And then you got to get it in, right?
Yeah.
And then what's worse is it's clothing. Like talk about trendy.
Yeah.
Fashion changes 3-6 months.
Yeah.
So what do you order? Like, how do you know what's going to be in fashion a year and a half from now? If it takes you 6 to 9 months to get a product from start to finish.
Yeah.
So that's, she's got her work cut out, but she does a great job. But yeah, I can promise we're going to continue to innovate here, bring really cool products, whether it's intra, post-workout, nootropic powders. I mean, we've got some cool stuff that's going to come on the Legacy series. Cool. We'll continue to bolt on some stuff in the Essential series as well, from the commodity perspective. And you'll see the Origin series continue to grow. We just dropped the vegan protein. We have a greens and fruits with a huge immune blend in there, beta-glucan being the carrier there, which I love beta-glucan at the end of the day. And we'll continue to innovate in that category. So, one thing we'll continue to do is bring out products. They'll be for different demographics, different drivers for different consumers. But we're not going to cut corners. Everything's going to look great. And that's what we're doing here.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think we'll do a video where we're going to put these flavors together. We're going to grab some shakers, do that. And then we'll be moving into some functional foods.
Functional foods. Let's do it.